Hello my dears, this is Sarah from SheHoldsDearly.com. Today I want to do a tutorial on how I set up my book page gallery wall. This is a project I've been wanting to do for a long time. I originally saw it on the blog Cotton Stem. I'll link the original picture for where I actually saw this in the beginning. And you're first going to start off with your anchor piece. So you could buy this. Etsy would be a great place to start looking for, or even the Hobby Lobby has some nice big signs that you want for your centerpiece if you're going to do this exact thing. I went ahead and made my own, and I got a printable off of my friend's website. The Painted Hive is her blog, and I'll link that below. She has several specifically quotes out of books, and I like that because it would go along with my book pages. And I chose The Velveteen Rabbit. That was one of my favorite books growing up, and we also raise rabbits now, so I love this, how sentimental that is. So once you decide, if you make your main sign, and once you decide what that's going to be, you need to have it printed. I had mine done at Office Depot. I think it was $12 or something to have it's about 18 inches by 36 inches that I liked. So once you get your poster home, you are going to need a piece of plywood or something about this thick to glue it onto. After I glued my poster to the board, I used Mod Podge. And looking back, if I were to do it again, I would use a matte finish because I was trying to go for that chalkboard finish, and I used a gloss Mod Podge, and so I kind of lost that chalkboard finish that I was going for. So that's a tip for you guys to learn from my mistake there, if it matters to you. You have to let your Mod Podge, or I have used Elmer's glue and water. That's the cheapo way to do this. But you are gonna put the glue on the board, put your poster down, smooth it all out. You'll have some bubbles, but those will go away as it dries. It'll all kind of tighten up. And then you put a second layer on top, and I just use a sponge applicator for that. And let it dry all night. Then once it's dry, flip it over. And I purposely cut the board a tiny bit smaller than what I thought I was gonna need, because you would rather just trim off a little edge of your poster than trim off the board, right? So once it was dry, I flipped it over. If you have a marble or granite countertop, this is a great place to do this on, and take a razor blade and just go right along the edge of that board and trim off your little bit of overhang. You need 1x2s for your frames, and you're going to stain those, or in my case, I ended up just doing furniture polish and furniture wax over them, and then gluing and nailing them to my frame. I only had about 1/4 inch of the frame hanging in front of the flat surface of my sign, just for a little bit of dimension, but then there is more of the frame hanging off the back. I hope that makes sense, but that gives me something to hang on the wall. Put your frame on, and then you get to this step where you're actually designing the gallery wall. I chose a variety of pictures out of the books, just some of the most interesting pages. So I have some sketches, some title pages, even someone's name written in the front of the book. I have some older pages that are yellowed and some newer ones that are more crisp, so I can have some contrast. And I'm gonna lay this all out on the floor before I actually put it on the wall. I'm just gonna mess with it and get my ideas going. So once I have the Velveteen Rabbit up on the wall, centered where I want it, then I'm gonna come back in with tape, and I'm just gonna start just scattering these book pages on the wall. Then I'm gonna come back with my staple gun that I use for all my upholstery projects, and I'm gonna staple these books on each side, following the line of those book pages. And then finally I'm gonna come back in and do a couple touch-ups to give it a little more 3D. So folding pages, tucking them into the books and things like that. So I'm really happy with this finished look. This is something that it would be great all year round, but I especially love it in fall because I generally think of fall as just this cozy time where you're gonna curl up by the fire with a book, and so it's very on theme in my mind, and I hope you love it. So I also want to tell you this week, and it ends, we've had a sale that's been going on this week on my blog. I teach time management and simplicity courses, and they go on sale once or twice a year. I think I'm gonna drop it down to once a year. So they are half off, and that will run through until Sunday night, which is September 9th. And I will link all that information below if you're interested. It's a great time to jump into that. With how it falls, you could get through with a lot of organizing before the holidays. And of course, it's all 50% off. So thank you so much for stopping by. If you're new here, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I do post regularly, and I share my professional design advice and our vintage home life. All right, take care, and I will talk to you soon.